Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out QNT's price chart, but it will be seriously stupid to not talk about the liquidation events that we got. And I think this actually started all of it. And in case you haven't checked Twitter or maybe Truth Social, you should know that President Trump tweeted this. It has just been learned that China has taken an extraordinarily aggressive position on trade in sending an extremely hostile letter to the world, stating that they were going to, by November 1st, impose large-scale export controls on virtually every single product they make, and some not even made by them. This affects all countries without exception and was obviously a plan devised by them years ago, and it is absolutely unheard of in international trade and a moral disgrace in dealing with other nations. Based on the fact that China has taken this unprecedented position and speaking only for the United States of America and not other nations who were also similarly threatened, starting November 1st of 2025, that is in about 20 days or maybe sooner, depending on any further actions or changes taken by China, the United States of America will impose a tariff of 100% on China over and above any tariff that they are currently paying. Also, on November 1st, we will impose export controls on any and all critical software, and it is impossible to believe that China would have taken such an action, but they have, and the rest is history. Thank you for attention to this matter. Now, as I'm sure you have seen the markets right now, the reaction to this tweet was absolutely insane. However, I actually have a problem with this thing. You see, in my view, something fishy is going on. Why is that? You see, on April 2nd, President of the United States literally put tariff on the whole world. And what happened to the market at that point? Let's go on Bitcoin's price chart, hide everything, and check out April 2nd. Where is it? There we go. It is right in here, and from the highs about, let's say, 85k, we got about like a 15% move on the downside. Now, in Bitcoin, no problem at all. We also, as you can see, got almost like a 10 to 13% move down. So this move was actually pretty similar to the one that we had back in Liberation Day. However, in a lot of altcoins, this time we saw something different, and in my view, by no means this is actually normal. Why? Because I was literally awake when this actually happened to QNT, HBAR, and many other altcoins, and I really tried to buy the dip. However, unfortunately, Binance was completely down, and also, as you can see, Coinbase was also down as well. And I think their support account, where is it? There we go. They said this: we are aware that customers may be experiencing latency or drag performance when transacting. Rest assured, your funds are absolutely safe. Our team is investigating this issue and will provide an update shortly. And I promise you, Coinbase and Binance were actually down by about an hour, and literally you couldn't really buy anything. Now, have a guess, please. Did this happen on Liberation Day? Absolutely not. So I don't know what is going on in here, but I'm actually quite suspicious of what happened in the last couple of hours. And here is one very simple reason for why. Let's go on QNT's chart, for instance, and we are going to check out some other charts. So where is April 1st? It is right in here, and from the highs to about the lows, as you can see, we got like a 15% move down from 70 to about 58. However, what happened in this phase? In literally 2 minutes from this point, as you can see, we got like a 50% move down. But wait a minute, on Liberation Day, Donald Trump literally imposed tariff on every single country. However, the current situation is a bit different. So why did this happen? I do not understand this. And this wasn't actually specific for QNT. No, for instance, you can also check out HBAR and Let's just measure this move real quick from the highs to about the lows. This was a 63% move down, so a massive liquidation event, and I really refuse to believe that we had this much long positions open. I think something else actually happened in here that right now at least we don't know. And I think one very important chart that I was checking was Gallo, and surprisingly I actually managed to buy Gallo a little bit at 0.6 of a cent, which is insane. And I actually managed to cover the amount that I bought around the 1.5 cents area. So if we get to about, let's say, 1.1 cents, I'm basically going to be break even. But that's not really the point. Pay attention to this unbelievably strong move down from the highs to about the lows. This is like an 83% move down. Why did we get this? I have no idea, but I really refuse to believe this is normal in crypto. Trust me, all these years that I have been in this market, and you can actually even check out the C19 event and maybe go on Bitcoin and zoom out a little bit more. And where is it? We got from, I think it was like 11 to 3K. Yep, there we go. Right in here from the highs about 10.5K, we got a massive move down to about 3.5K. And I promised you, even in this unbelievably strong flash crash, in a lot of altcoins, we didn't really get what we are having right now in them. So again, the current situation is absolutely bizarre. And I think saw a tweet that said we got about $10 billion worth of liquidations, and I think it was 1.5 billion in shorts and 8.5 billion in longs. And believe it or not, I think the current liquidation event was actually orders and orders of magnitude bigger than what happened in this area. So again, this definitely raises eyebrows, and I don't know what happened. All I know is this: price actions like this in a lot of altcoins are not normal. I would not be surprised if, for example, let's say in the next couple of days, we're going to have some reports coming out that says maybe some exchanges had massive problems and they had to sell their tokens, and that may have caused a strong move on the downside. Bottom line is, I do not believe that this was actually a normal event. And by the way, I actually forgot to check Polygon. How about this thing? Let's just measure this move from the highs. As you can see, we got like a 40% move on the downside. So this wasn't actually that much of a bad move. However, it definitely broke a lot of beautiful bullish setups, which is really unfortunate. Now, let's check out our own QNT chart and see what is going on in here. Question: am I mad about this move down? The answer, I think, is yes. But did I get wrecked by it? The answer, absolutely not. Why? Because I don't really open a whole lot of leverage positions. I usually buy the tokens, and even if I want to open some long positions, I don't really go long with massive leverages. So I was absolutely fine. But if you had a lot of leverage positions open, trust me, I feel for you. And please, do not let your emotions get the best of you. Let's keep a cool head. And in fact, I would say let that be a lesson for you. And actually, we are having two very important lessons in here. Number one, do not trade with leverage. And number two, if, for example, price is about $100 level and you think we may end up someday going down and taking all the lows, maybe it is best to have some orders in here already. So in case the price is going to do some madness like this, your lungs are going to get activated and you are going to be a very happy person. And unfortunately for me, well, I wasn't really that lucky. Now, what happened in here? Believe it or not, I'm gonna say not a whole lot. Why is that? Because right now, I even have doubts about whether I should count this shadow or not. And why is this so important? Because you see, the idea in Elliott waves is that whenever you are seeing a massive liquidation event, like a very strong move down, followed by a slow and choppy pullback, it's usually the case that we actually get a continuation of the move down, not necessarily in order to take the lows once more, but we are actually going to visit them and get quite close to them. However, since right now, at least, I really refuse to believe that this shadow is real, I'm not really sure whether we are going to, for example, get a big continuation of the move down in order to visit the lowest low down here, about $53 or not. If you want my personal opinion, I'm gonna say we are probably not going to do that. And I mean, sure, we are probably going to see maybe a couple of days of consolidation pattern, maybe a move on the upside, but then we're gonna get a move down, and at least I would say test this level once more between 75 to about $80, and I'm really hoping that is going to be at the end of our move on the downside. Now, if you are not like me and you want to say this shadow is real, then okay, definitely right around these prices are not going to be buy opportunities for you, because you're literally counting on like a 40% move down in order to clear all the lows once more and reach to about the last support all the way down here between 36 to about $50. And if you believe that, you know what, more power to you. I absolutely respect your opinion, since again, I'm not really sure whether I should count this shadow or not. So maybe you are going to be right at the end of the day. From my POV, no, I still believe this is a beautiful bullish setup. And the fact that we got from this point about $51, a very quick bounce, and we got back to around these prices as usual, definitely in my view is a good sign, suggesting, yeah, probably around here we didn't really have a lot of people selling their tokens, so we may not visit these levels once more. So overall, if you did not lose any money during this phase down, congratulations, you are a great investor. And please, from this point moving forward, if you haven't already, great, but if you have, let's just say this, from this point moving forward, let's not use leverage at all. And I'm telling you this when we are having a very strong move down, okay? Because I know probably there will be a time by the end of this cycle that QNT or maybe any other altcoin, doesn't really matter, is gonna go up big time. And at that point, trust me, you will be tempted to open some long positions and say, probably I'm going to maximize my profit. And instead of, let's say, having a 100% gain with the help of leverage, I'm going to make that 500%. Please, I'm begging you, do not do that. Odds are you are going to lose all your money and you will probably never ever look back at this market. So overall, this was an insane event, and I truly believe this was actually a historic day in the crypto market, since we got the biggest liquidation in history. So if you are still alive, that is awesome. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in QNT and also the overall market. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.